The main objection to the brief time in Congress that would result from the never re-elect strategy that I and others have been proposing is that it would cause us to lose the seasoning and experience which can only come from some extended tenure in Congress. I contend that this objection is misleading and flatly wrong in many respects, inasmuch as seasoning and experience are euphemisms for corruption. Look at it this way. In any crowd of free men, such as in the U.S. Senate or the House of Representatives, if all of them were to arrive as freshmen without any particular advantage of seniority, class, wealth, or distinction other than natural talent, in a relatively short time, a few will rise to positions of authority and leadership in the group. This is a phenomenon which has been repeated throughout history, with both good and bad results. And judging from man's progress through time, there obviously has been more good result than bad. With frequent turnover, leadership will always show up. More often good leadership than bad. And similarly, with extended tenure, corruption will always show up. This is the reason I believe in the idea of very brief tenures for Congress, such as one 6-year term in the Senate and 3 2-year terms in the House. Many people argue that these restrictions are too short, since it doesn't allow time for learning the ropes. That's a false argument. Many people who are elected from several years in the private sector are already more experienced and intelligent enough to navigate and succeed in the politics of Congress than are our current representatives. And with the advantage of no taint from the corrupt habits of Washington, they would be far more likely to address the job of legislation with greater integrity, common sense, and fresh thinking. On the other hand, under present conditions, where legislators may have never worked in the private sector at all and are eligible to be re-elected indefinitely, even for 50 years, is a recipe for corruption, a loss of legislative vigor and imagination, and a possible dictatorship of the Congress, which appears imminent. That is why I heartily recommend and implore every American to never re-elect anyone in Congress and do it every election. I'm Nelson Lee Walker of TenureCorrupts.com.